Alright, we're back. But here's what's going on. Tariq Azizi. Tariq Azizi is a friend of Sadaam Hussein. He was a guy that worked with Sadaam Hussein. And he says this controversial thing. Britain and the U.S. killed Iraq. I wish I was martyred. He wishes Sadaam Hussein was still around. But he calls for the United States to stay. He wants the United States to stay in Iraq.
Why?
This guy worked for Sadaam Hussein, and he says he said it's been 7 years and 4 months since he's been in prison. So this guy's in prison. He says he didn't commit any crime, but he believes that when America leaves, someone's going to come into power in Iraq that was worse than Sadaam Hussein. This is a guy that worked for Sadaam Hussein is telling you and me that this guy that might show up, which I guess maybe he already knows who he is or not, is going to be worse than Sadaam Hussein. That's a pretty scary thing to say. Wouldn't you say, folks? I think that we honestly need to move forward and fight the fight. I mean, normally the United States in the past, we didn't cut the amount of troops. We actually did drafts, and we had millions of people. In 1991, when we were in Iraq the first time, we had over 1 million troops there, and we won very quickly.
But wait a minute. Obama promised that he was going to pull everybody out of Iraq. And
here's one of the things that Obama has said. He said at the G8 and the G20 summit, and I'll paraphrase it for everybody. He says, anything that I say, anything that I have promised, and anything I do, I will follow through to the end, and no one will stop me. The healthcare passed. He's pulling out the troops. He's closing Guantanamo Bay. There's a lot of other stuff he's talking about doing too. Some people say Obama is a one-term president. He wants to increase taxes January 1st by 20 to 56%, depending on the category. Not just as a whole. You got to look in businesses and nonprofits and all sorts of different things. He wants to change the whole thing. He promised at the G8 summit that the economy of the United States would be knocked down by 50% by 2013. And he wasn't the only country who said this. All 8 countries said, we're going to knock this down by 50%. Yeah. Well, how would you do that? You have to increase, you know.
Increase what, Jer?
You know, the thing as a whole, and it's getting scary. Another thing that is scary. Is anyone familiar with what happened in Russia? This is part of the reason why the nuclear blast, we know yesterday, or is it today, that here's the bombing happened.
Today.
Today. The bombing happened today in I don't know the year. 45, I believe. Hiroshima got bombed. Later on, 1996, there was an explosion in Chernobyl. The nuclear power plant blew up. Well, as of now, radio cesium-137 from the 1986, as it was locked up in the trees and leaves and the forest in Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus. It says if these trees catch on fire and burn, they will release contamination into the air, but not levels dangerous enough to human health. That's the weirdest thing that has gone on. So, I think this is a dangerous thing. They say it's not dangerous, but there's bound to be parts of the air contaminant in levels. But I don't understand why.
So the trees could be killing people now.
Yeah, if they catch on fire, according to this study here. I think it's bad. It's dangerous. It's moving to a new direction. That I don't really agree. Smog in Moscow, that's another thing. Planes are being diverted around Moscow because of the smog. We were talking earlier about, the signs of the times with the different, heat waves and destruction from heat and the loss of water and the forest catching on fire, the massive floods, the hurricanes, earthquakes that are going crazy. And now we have this solar tsunami that's messed up a little bit of communications, but moreover, it has caused weird weather and extreme heat. The heat index the day of, is not the real deal. So that's part of the thing. On another story, how many presidents do you know took frivolous vacations? Now, I don't have a problem with vacation. I don't have a problem with people having fun and going out and doing things. That's good. That's what people are supposed to do. But what happens when you may have more money than everyone else and you can go here and go there? Well, now the controversy is how the Obama administration is going on vacations. When I was in the military, you got like 30 days to leave and go wherever you want. The money they're spending is not only money that we paid into for him when he was a senator, and the presidency pays $250,000, I believe, a year, or as a total, as a year. So this last vacation was $375,000. There's no way that money came from what he got paid this year, because that's more than what he got paid. So where's all this money coming from? And why are they going all over the place? And why is this the only president that people are talking about going on vacation? You know what? Every president has gone on these kinds of vacations. They're like picking on the Obamas, and I don't agree on that. I think it's kind of stupid. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of money, but still, you don't think if you were president, you wouldn't want to go on a vacation if you had the money to go?
But okay.
I understand.
But the argument
is the economy is so bad. Why are you spending that money?
No, it isn't just the spending the money. It's the fact that people feel that he needs to be in Washington, D.C. or going around to the United States to the places that are struggling, who are in bankruptcy, trying to reach out to the people more instead of his wife going to Spain, or he going here, or he going there. They feel. I understand their frustrations and their anger, because they feel he's the president, we're in an economic crisis, we have the worst oil spill in the history of the United States, people, unemployment, there's over 1 million people on unemployment, people are losing their jobs still, blah, blah, blah. They feel he should be focused on resolving these issues and working instead of going off and playing golf.
Yeah, I understand the golf thing. He had a lot of time for golf, but the weird thing is, when you're a president, what happens is you have all these, as he has done, he's got czars for everything. He's got assistants and all these other things. The only thing he has to do is sign a few papers a day, and he gets a presidential report once to 3 times a day. The rest of the time, he can do whatever he wants. He only needs to be in the office for a couple of hours. He's free on the weekend and able to do the things that he wants, to move to the way that he wants. And it's crazy. I think we're getting to a situation that is bad. We need to pray for the president. We need to pray for the different people that are in society and things. I want to thank everyone for coming today. We need to pray for our nation. We need to pray for our leaders. We need to pray for the decisions that are being made daily and minute by minute throughout the world. Pray for the persecuted church. We are JMC Live every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on live stream. We'll see you soon.